All right, welcome to the commission meeting for April 11th, 2013, or excuse me, 2023. Time warp, so 2023. How about if we do the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we go, if you could call the roll, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Flynn.
Present.
Commissioner Grella.
Here.
Commissioner Ranny.
Here.
Commissioner Swager Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Silverman.
Here. If you could proceed with the manager's announcements, please.
Yes. Prior to tonight's meeting, the commission met in executive session to receive legal advice from the solicitor on a variety of topics. The next regular meeting of the commission will be held on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. That meeting will begin at 8 p.m. in this room. Here are the ways public can participate. In person, you don't need to pre-register. Simply show up at the appropriate meeting time, or remotely via the Zoom webinar format. Again, you don't need to pre-register. Simply click the link located on the meeting agenda on the municipal website. If you wish to speak during citizens' comments or during public hearings, simply use the raise hand feature on Zoom and you'll be notified when it is your turn to speak. Immediately prior to this meeting, the commission met in discussion session and received information and discussed the following items. We received an update on the status of our municipal website project. Please keep on the lookout for additional updates. We are looking to launch the new website, I believe, in May. So that's an exciting project for us coming to a conclusion. A lot of people have worked very hard on that. We heard some information about the street furniture recommended for purchase. It's one of tonight's commission agenda items from Eric Millern, our commercial districts manager. That would be our recycling containers, trash cans, benches, and bike racks. And then we heard a fairly lengthy presentation from Ian McMeans, our municipal planner and assistant manager.
He is the word, yeah.
On the advisory board transition plan related to the ordinance that was adopted by the commission for the reorganization of some of our advisory boards. Again, more on that over the coming year. We also received updates on the various boards that our commissioners are the liaisons to.
Thank you. Community highlights, Commission Vice President Ann Swager Wilson, please.
Thank you, President Silverman. So Mount Lebanon Public Library is one of Mount Lebanon's most important assets. Over the years, it has solidified its ability to serve people of all ages, interests, and backgrounds as it created and nurtured lifelong learners. The free services it offers and the resources it provides are priceless. But the library is most special because of the people who work there. They are true information professionals who provide expertise, services, and guidance while upholding professional values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So please join the Mount Lebanon Commission and Mount Lebanon Municipal Manager in celebrating National Library Week from April 23rd through the 29th. We hope you'll make a special effort to visit the Mount Lebanon Public Library and explore all it has to offer. April is Autism Awareness Month, and I'd like to honor it by borrowing a little bit from the excellent statement released by the White House. There's no one way to be autistic. Each autistic individual experiences it differently. But together, autistic people make industries, communities, and Mount Lebanon stronger. Today, we celebrate the achievements of neurodiverse people everywhere and champion the equal rights and dignity of all those living on the autism spectrum in Mount Lebanon. You are welcome and wanted here. Mount Lebanon's comprehensive plan, also known by its nickname Ascend Lebo, has 3 new surveys for you to complete in the month of April. The surveys cover community engagement, mobility, and resiliency. Please take a few minutes and go to ascendlebo.com and fill out as many as you can. The results are being used to shape the blueprint for our municipality for the next 10 years. I did it Each survey takes maybe 5 minutes, not onerous, easy to follow. Please do it. This is how we get the input of what you want for the next 10 years. Celebrate Earth Day in Mount Lebanon on April 30th in Mount Lebanon Park from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission is free, and there are all sorts of activities for the entire family, including music, food, and demonstrations. For a schedule, go to mountlebanongreen.org. And finally, Mount Lebanon will host its first household hazardous waste event of the year on Saturday, April 29th from 9 to 1 at Public Works off Cedar Boulevard. Registration is required. To sign up and see the fees for various materials, go to www.nobleenviro.com, and spouses are not considered hazardous materials. That's it.
Back to Paula. I have a question for the chief. As I recall, that is also the fire extinguisher recycling. So that last set. Now, if you could come to the microphone for a quick second, if you don't mind. Sorry for the pop quiz, to give everybody a quick briefing on fire extinguishers. They should be
Fire extinguishers.
disposed of after a certain period of time.
Fire extinguishers generally expire your household after 10 years. So if they're more than 10 years old, you'll usually find it either on the label or stamped on the bottom of the fire extinguisher. Or if the fire extinguisher, the gauge doesn't read that it's fully charged into green, it's just easy to get rid of the fire extinguisher. So those are the types of fire extinguishers generally to bring to fire extinguisher take back day,
And fire extinguisher take back day is April
29th,
29th.
29th, from 9 to 1, same
9
place?
to 1.
Same place.
Yep.
Okay,
Thanks
good.
for reminding me it's household hazardous waste day.
No problem. And do you
No
have,
spouses.
without necessarily endorsing, if someone says, I'll recycle my fire extinguisher, where do I buy another one?
Generally you get one at Rollier's, Home
Yeah.
Depot, any store.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next on the list, our junior commissioner report. Sam Knoll, come on down.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful break. A lot has been going on at the high school, and it finally is the fourth quarter of the school year, so let's dive right in. First, Student Council hosted their Spring Spirit Assembly. Students had the opportunity to split into their elementary schools and participate in different games and activities. The games featured were a relay race, ending in dragging students on a blanket to the finish line, dodgeball, and basketball knockout. Activities included a student-teacher dance where a cheerleader paired with a teacher would do like a quick dance and then at the end a group dance. A pieing in the face, our school resource officer, Officer Henley, and Dr. Thompson even pied a student. A student rock band performed, marching band, the drumline, and color guard also performed. It was a wonderful event, and Lincoln won the competition this time. To check out pictures and the videos of the teacher dance and pieing teachers and students in the face, please check out our class Instagram page. It's at Lebo_2023. Again, it's at Lebo_2023. Students who participated in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, and won the regional competition will be moving to the state competition in Hershey next week. Congratulations to these students and good luck. Next, 6 students from Mount Lebanon High School participated in the 84th Annual Pittsburgh Regional Science and Engineering Fair held at Carnegie Science Center. Congratulations to August Zentner, who earned the first place award in chemistry, and Aiden Hall, who won second place award. Last month, 19 students from Mount Lebanon High School participated in the American Chemical Society Local Chemistry Olympiad held at Carnegie Mellon University. 2 students, Lucian McCush and Soham Dam, qualified to participate in the National Chemistry Olympiad, which consists of 3-part examination, including a written exam and a practical lab. I congratulate these students on this big accomplishment, and I wish them luck in any future work. Next, Mount Lebanon High School's Coding Club hosted their very first hackathon for middle school students to compete in. Founding members of the Coding Club, juniors Felix Yang, Alex Stefanoff, Sig Kukla, and sophomores Claire Sun and Sally Tan had been working on this project since the beginning of the year. It was an amazing experience for 12 middle school students who competed in this program. So I wish all the students congratulations and hope the hackathon can continue to be a part of the high school and middle school programs. To conclude, I want to discuss more about the LGBTQ+ policy for students earlier when I talked about that at the beginning of my time as junior commissioner, about educating teachers and protecting queer students at the high school. I want to acknowledge the hard work of these students who worked since the beginning of the year to put together this policy, as well as continuing to encourage the school board to review and finally come to a decision about implementing these policies. It's important to all students that Mount Lebanon feels as if they're being included in any conversations and feel that they are safe when going to school. No student should ever feel discriminated against when being in an environment that they're supposed to feel comfortable in and able to learn. I also encourage any commissioner to reach out to school board members to approach this policy and move forward with putting it into action. That concludes my board report, or my report for April 11th. So thank you.
Thank you for that report. All right, next on the agenda, citizen comments. This is an opportunity for any resident to express an opinion on any topic pertaining to local government. The Commission enjoys hearing from the public on various issues and learning about items to address in the future. If you have specific questions, we will try and answer them at the end of your comments. If we can't, we commit to getting you the answers as soon as possible. When I call your name, please come to the podium to address the commission. State your name and address for the record. In fairness, we ask each speaker to share their thoughts for 5 minutes. The community is as good as each person in this room and online. We work together to make this a community that we can all be proud of and hope the dialogue remains respectful. We also appreciate the audience's efforts to refrain from any behavior that is disruptive or might intimidate free speech. See, first on the list, Colonel Hoon, please come on down.
Bill Hoon, 456 Fullage Avenue. I don't know how much you folks are into the news, but about 2 weeks ago in Mariupol, Ukraine, which is a city on the southern coast, occupied by the Russians, pretty well destroyed by the Russians. Well, Putin decided to have a photo shoot there. So he flew in the dark of night in a black helicopter, no lights, landed, security crew out to either side of the helicopter, and then Putin stepped out, master of the show. Well, he met a group of supposed Ukrainian citizens. A lot of his shows in Russia have been actors, professional actors. And he met with these people. There were 5 or 6, as I recall. And they had a meet and greet, had a good time together. Out of the darkness, a female voice was heard, and I heard it, that said, "It's all a lie." That woman had incredible courage, because if Putin had time, I'm sure he'd put security people out to find this woman and kill her. At any rate, you could make out what she said. It wasn't as loud as what was going on screen, but that's what she said. Now, she could have been right here when y'all would be talking about the deer activity. Because for 20 years, the entire activity has been a lie. Every part of it. The only thing that comes out that's true is the number of deer that are killed. Whoopee-dee. Real excited about that. Recently, we passed the 100th day of the year. And at that point, they recorded a total of 147 mass shootings. I believe a mass shooting in this country is considered anything 3 or more. Most of these, well, I can't put a number on this, but let's just say that an awful lot of these were done with AR-15s. The exact same weapon that your guys, the kill groups you bring in here, just love. They love it because they can get that round right up there real fast. The same as these boneheads that go out and do mass shootings. I don't think any of you have any idea how people feel. There are some people here that have moved from this township because of the fact that you have all these lethal weapons around. There are people that will not go into a Mount Lebanon park. And I know one intimately who happened to run right into Craig B. Swoopy's shooting action down in Bird Park. She has not gone into a Mount Lebanon park since then. Okay, I went to a Mensa party a few weeks ago, and I met a guy also from Mount Lebanon who was moving, had been here 27 years. And he said Mount Lebanon has changed significantly, and he didn't like the change. So he and his wife found what he considers a better property in a place called Hendersonville in Pennsylvania. I've never been there. I don't know what it's like. He liked it enough to move to it. And we talked about what's going on. He said he was kind of vague. He didn't have significant issues to report as to why he wants out of here. He said, people move out, other people move in. But the people that move in aren't nearly as friendly as the people that I have known living there before.
Thank you for your thoughts, Colonel Hume. Next, let's see, it's all on the piece of paper here. Let's see if there's anybody online who wishes to make a comment.
Yeah, we have one online. I'm gonna go ahead and set them up now.
Right, thank you.
Hey, Rob, good evening. Please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record. You will have 5 minutes for your comments. You will hear a tone when your time is concluded.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. This is Rob Mackey, 610 Royce Avenue. My first comment is relative to the board reorganization discussion session topic that Ian presented. It's abundantly clear Ian, staff, and commissioners are taking this very seriously. I really appreciate the discussion around the calendar and duties with the effort to not miss a beat as this transition happens. And so much content there, I'll be happy to pass it on in the form of a PowerPoint and not try to regurgitate it to the rest of the board. So thank you, Ian. Second, as Commissioner Flynn mentioned, we talk a lot about trails. To date, we've talked mostly about trail design. And I think I'll speak for many people in that we were thinking about it within the frame of the current trail, capacity that we have in terms of maintenance, which is a volunteer effort, and the deficiencies we have with it being left just to volunteers. Out of the discussion in last week's Parks meeting, we had the new, I think, innovation of really doubling down on trails as a way to increase mobility, and thinking about it as a potential capital project for Mount Lebanon. So right now we have a lot of trails, mostly forged by volunteers or wildlife. These are conduits for stormwater. The design varies widely amongst these trails, and it's not accessible. Our trail networks do not allow access to our parks for many residents. So thinking about trails as a potential capital project, I don't know what form it will take, whether it's a network in a single park or key key crossing trails in multiple parks. We're going to think about this, talk with Public Works and get some ideas, but thinking about trails as a potential capital project for the future. I just wanted to telegraph that. And thanks for your time.
Well, thank you for your comments. Nick, anyone else online?
Nope, nobody else.
Thank you. Anybody in the room? No?
Mr. President, may I
Yes.
just, Mr. Mackey brought up a good point about the trails. As the board was speaking about about trails, one of the discussion points that was brought up was that, active mobility and active transportation is a topic that is, something that we are all actively talking about, and recognizing that our parks are a critical component of that transportation network, would to some degree necessitate that we be thinking about utilizing these parks and the trail system as an integrated part of our active transportation plan. And so I really am excited by the work that they're doing, and really appreciate all of their efforts.
Great. Thank you for adding that. Anybody have any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
Or comment about the term accessibility. I just want to underscore for everyone that accessibility is different for each group that has accessibility problems. So it might be, you really need to take a very broad look at where you're going to actually make something wheelchair accessible, where you're going to actually add railings so that someone that's older like I am has railings that they can use when they're walking. Gravel is not accessible to a wheelchair. It's going to take a really broad look, and I would recommend that you look for someone who is a good mobility expert in the area when you get further on down to figure out which paths should do what. They can't all do everything. It's just not, it's impossible. So, thanks.
Any other thoughts? All right, great. Thank you. Next on the agenda, item 4, Commissioner Flynn, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the minutes from the adjourned meeting held March 28th, 2023. I move to approve said minutes.
Second.
The motion, the said minutes have been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 5, Commissioner Rainey, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of ordinance bill number 3-23, authorizing a cable franchise agreement. Mount Lebanon Municipality contracted the Cohen Law Group to negotiate a renewal of the cable franchise agreement with Verizon Pennsylvania LLC. Negotiations have concluded and the new agreement must be adopted by ordinance. This ordinance was introduced on February 28th, 2023, and the public hearing was held March 14th, 2023. I move to enact ordinance bill number 3-23.
I second that.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 6, Commissioner Grella, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of resolution, not revolution. Resolution number R-6-23, authorizing the execution of a revision to an adoption agreement for Mount Lebanon's retirement health savings account. As of January 1, 2023, Mount Lebanon Municipality and Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters and Mount Lebanon Municipality and Mount Lebanon Career Firefighters Association Local 5089 entered into new labor agreements. As part of the agreements, certain wages are now allowed to be deposited into an established retirement health savings, RHS, account managed by Mission Square Retirement. In addition, the personnel manual has been updated for all full-time non-union employees to deposit into the RHS plan. The resolution and associated adoption agreement will allow for those wages to be properly treated for IRS purposes. I move to adopt resolution number R-6-23, authorizing the proper municipal officials to execute the adoption agreement and related documents subject to review and approval by the manager and solicitor.
Second. Half asleep.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 7, Commissioner Swager Wilson, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public hearing announcement for consideration of the pollutant reduction plan, PRP, Total Maximum Daily Load Plan, TMDL, for Sawmill Run Watershed. Municipality of Mount Lebanon is soliciting comments on an update to its pollutant reduction plan, total maximum daily load plan for the Sawmill Run watershed. Mount Lebanon's municipal separate storm sewer system, MS4, permit requires a PRP and/or TMDL plan, implement projects to reduce sediment and phosphorus, and make this plan available for public review and comment. The previously approved PRP/TMDL plan from 2017 did not account for the recently constructed stream restoration project of an unnamed tributary to Sawmill Run along Thornwood Drive. The municipality has revised this TMDL/PRP plan to take credit for that stream restoration project to meet the PRP reduction requirements for this watershed. The advertisement for public comment ran on April 6th, and comments will be accepted for 30 days. Copies of the PRP/TMDL plan are available at the municipal building for review.
Thank you, and we will set a public hearing for April 25th, 2023. Item 8, Commissioner Flynn, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration to purchase street furnishings for the Vibrant Uptown Streetscape project from Landscape Forms. Street furnishings referenced in this agenda item have been recommended by the design expert LaQuatra Bonsi and Associates to match the design intent of the Vibrant Uptown Streetscape project. This includes 25 dedicated trash receptacles, 25 dedicated recycling receptacles, 3 benches, and 6 bike racks. The total cost is $104,346.58. Funding for the aforementioned items has been appropriated in the 2023 municipal budget at $134,000. I move to purchase the street furnishings from Landscape Forms, Inc. through National Purchasing Cooperative Alliance contract number 07-100 for $104,346.58.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 9, Commissioner Rainey, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration for the award of the Mount Lebanon North Garage Repairs Contract. Bids were received on March 2nd, 2023 for the Mount Lebanon North Garage Repair Project. This project involves precast structural concrete repairs, membrane coating replacement, and caulk sealant replacement to the north parking garage in the municipality of Mount Lebanon on Washington Road. The add alternate item involves remove and replace existing traffic bollards with surface-mounted steel traffic bollards. 7 bids were received by the deadline, and the municipal engineer has verified the bids as follows. Refer to your screen. The municipal engineer has reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate. The engineer recommends the project be awarded to CH&D Enterprises, Inc. The contractor has recently employed former workers from Nathan Contracting, now out of business, which completed similar projects in the municipality in the past in a satisfactory manner. Total budgeted amount for this project, funded by the parking fund, was $310,000. I move to award the contract for the Mount Lebanon North Garage Repair Project for the base bid, $170,888, and add alternate number 1, $20,060 to CH&D Enterprises, Inc. in the amount of $190,948.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item 10, Commissioner Flynn, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration for the award of the 2023 road reconstruction program. Bids were received on March 23rd, 2023 for the 2023 road reconstruction project contract. Streets included in the bid package were as presented on the screen. I will go through them very quickly. Academy Place, Flint Ridge Road, Florida Avenue, Maybrick Avenue, Rob Hollow Road, Skylark Circle, Parkview Drive to Salem Drive, Pen Oak Road to 808 Flint Ridge Road, Municipal Way to 666 Florida Avenue, Cedar Boulevard to Atlanta Place, Larchdale Drive to Sylvandale Drive, Forest View Drive to Cul-de-sac.
Following streets were considered as alternates for reconstruction. I will not read those. They're available on the screen. The bids were received as and verified as follows, and again, presented on the screen. The bid documents allow for the award of any combination of base and alternate bids. The engineer recommends the award as listed in the recommended action with the impact of the recommended award between the two contractors as presented. The recommended streets will be funded through various sources as also presented.
Like it.
Nyando Construction has successfully completed the reconstruction project in the past, and the municipal engineer recommends this award. I move to award the base bid for the following: Academy Place, Flint Ridge Road, Florida Avenue, Maybrick Avenue, Rob Hollow Road, and Skylark Circle, as well as alternate bids for Academy Place Drainage Alternate 1, Flint Ridge Road Drainage Alternates 1 and 2, Maybrick Avenue Drainage Alternate 1, Skylark Circle Green Infrastructure Alternate, Clemson Drive Alternate, Oak Way Alternate, Summit Way Alternate, Wells Drive Alternate, Clemson Drive Drainage Alternates 1 and 2, and Oak Way Drainage Alternate number 1 to Nyando Construction, Inc. in the amount of $1,998,827.08.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Any questions, comments?
I will comment that none of the streets listed for the reconstruction program, which is this item number 10, or the next item, item number 11, which is our maintenance resurfacing program, are brick streets. We are not resurfacing or reconstructing brick streets this year, as we are still working on our brick street policy. We are doing the same annual repairs that we do for brick streets with brick repair work. And that's not listed. That's not what we're voting on today.
Any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
One in the opposition, the motion passes 4-1. Item 11, Commissioner Squacker Wilson, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for consideration for the award of the 2023 Street Maintenance Program. Bids were received on March 23rd, 2023 for the 2023 street maintenance contract. The project includes roto-milling of existing pavement and resurfacing with bituminous materials to various depths on streets throughout the municipality. Streets included in the base bid package were as follows and shown on the screen. Atlanta Place, Cedar Boulevard, James Place, Lebanon Avenue, MacArthur Drive, North Meadowcroft Avenue, Oak Park Place, Woodland Drive, Baywood Avenue to Summit Alley, Cochrane Road to Summit Alley, Seneca Drive to 138 James Place, Washington Road to Florida Avenue, Wainwright Drive to 878 MacArthur Drive, Green Line Drive to Twin Hills Drive, entire road including Loop, Ridgeview Drive to 102 Woodland Drive. Following streets were considered as alternates for street maintenance. They're shown on the screen. I'm not going to read them. The municipal engineer has verified the bids as shown on the screen. The municipal engineer has reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate. The engineer recommends the base bid be awarded to Melly and Melly Sons, Inc., totaling $435,890. The contractor has completed similar work in Mount Lebanon and other communities in a satisfactory manner. The budgeted amount for this contract is $443,190, and the engineer's estimate for the proposed award was $432,000. The project will be funded through the transportation portion of the operating budget. I move to award the 2023 base bid to Melly and Melly Sons, Inc. in the amount of $435,890.
Second.
The motion has been moved and second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
The motion carries 4-1, and we are adjourned.
Amen.
Wow.
So loud.
Wait, something.
Oh, my. Hmm.
Now what?
Where
I'm done for the day. Get up, I gotta do.
Love it. Put that on the resume, read it. Put that on the resume.
You're sleeping, like, shebang.
Getting home and take another medication.
There you go. Man. Like a black. Oh.
All right, let's see. I don't know. Okay, these are all out.
Yeah, one.
I could be.
Perfect. It's when we get lit up in family stuff. I'm like, oh.
So
I guess-